You're gonna come back tomorrow. And by tomorrow, it'll be 2 days, actually, including flight time.
So as much as I love everything about this, we probably can't spare
what?
Benny
I'm sorry,
Vex
Jay?
that long on this run. Like,
I'm sorry? Are you implying that a Force 24 water spirit will not be of advantage to us?
God damn it, Slash. God damn it.
I mean, so
all right, I've said my logical piece, and I've seen how little that is done before.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The only reason why I'm not just instantly pulling the trigger like I'd like to do is because it's a water spirit. And really, guys, fuck those guys. Right?
That's exactly why to do it. Do you know what this water spirit's name is going to be?
Terrence.
I want to see it, Benny.
I want those rolls on my desk by tomorrow morning.
Oh my god.
Oh god, what am I doing?
Guys, I think you're missing that
Becoming government.
we have to constantly defend these people.
Yeah,
So the high force spirit meta plot. Oh boy, good thing. Oh god, Shiggy.
see, again, that's the one thing that I'd rather not bring up. And honestly, the one thing that Shiki has done is inspired me to call out, which is to say, there is one mage I know who's on this run who has a non-negative relationship with a high force free spirit of water.
Yes.
And it also has been known to do some cool wintry shit before.
That is true.
And if we're going to be, imploring high force, it seems like that's our better option.
So what you're suggesting is that you should try to summon the Ice King specifically instead of just a regular Force 24.
That is in fact what I heard.
When did you switch sides?
I mean, if I could summon the ice, I don't have enough magic, Benny. Only you can do this.
All
It
right.
is in fact only you can do this.
You are in fact the one, Benny.
All right. So I'm not gonna do the binding thing. But
That's
Yes,
probably
attempting
best.
to bind the Ice King would in fact be incredibly bad for you.
oh sure, if we give him a name other than Terrence, it's suddenly a bad idea. You're a son of a bitch, Flash.
I mean, Vex, Benny, like, it's not like Slash said that the other plan was a good idea.
All right.
Do it, Benny.
I mean, the thing is, like, that the Ice King is a free spirit.
Oh yeah, that's also true.
That's the
it's
issue
quite a bit more
here.
powerful, yeah.
Is that little checkbox.
Alright.
If you try to bind him, he can just be like, okay, I kill you.
All right. So.
You begin binding. I stab you with my knife.
All right. So. Let's do this. Let's do the resist first.
And this is how Vex dies.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, Vex, but before you roll the resist, shouldn't you determine whether you're going to pre-edge the roll or not?
No, fuck you. I will, however, be using 24 reagents regardless of whether or not I'm using it, because fuck it.
Your limit is 22.
Oh yes.
You don't need to spend the reagents for the extra 2.
I feel like spending 22 reagents might be seen as a positive, though, on a purely fluff.
Oh, I mean, yes, I would spend a large number of reagents in
There we
hopes that it would not kill him.
Here we
I've
go,
got
boys.
a lot of reagents should you need them.
Here we go, boys.
I also have a lot of
See it.
reagents.
Yeah, 24 put in there. Okay.
See,
all right.
that's completely doable. That's
Yeah.
completely doable.
Statistics. They are here today.
All right, here we go.
didn't pre-edge.
Didn't pre-edge.
Still
So now
got
he can
this.
vote.
All right.
You still got this.
Just have to re-roll. Just
One
have
net.
to re-roll.
That's all.
There it is. There it is. That's what he needs.
That is, in fact, how you summon things as Vex. Exactly
So
by one.
So no. I actually unfortunately have to be the bearer of bad news. He rolled 19,
Oh,
and the last one was the hit.
Ooh.
That's okay. You can do it again.
not today though. It's
Well, you're in the sea. Well. So if I may. Oh wait, no, it doesn't make a difference.
That's only 9 damage.
You could, in fact, and you have Awaken on you, sir. Wound penalties don't hurt. Or wait,
Yeah.
is that only stun penalties?
So here's the thing. It doesn't matter. That's 9 out of 10 boxes.
You are in fact on the ground.
So,
Fuck.
As,
I assume that, at this point, the seductress deep inside suggests numb?
My God, this blood everywhere.
All right. Well, I guess I have to say no, even though I don't have any numb on me, you asshole.
I just imagine Soltero saying that over the Pytech, like, "Oh God."
Oh God.
So I would point out that the Ice King is only force 22, not 24.
Yes, that's
However,
true.
the last 2 dice are not hits.
Besides, Ice King can be 24 if you want him to be.
That's also true.
He's in
Forgot.
fact a free spirit.
I have spells on me, so those are the extra.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
My God, there's suddenly a lot less blood everywhere.
My God, where'd that blood go? All right. So yeah, I went down from 9 to 5.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. So summoning is an action that you can take in only one combat turn. And since we're all in a Pytech, it seems to me that White, who also summons a lot of spirits, would, in a mechanically consequential way, inform him that he believes in Vex.
How much does he believe?
He believes, as it turns out,
Not a
A
whole lot.
lot.
Not really.
Oh God.
Not a lot.
but 1 was actually all he needed to keep that dice, I believe.
It's true.
The tr-
That
Shiki may insist on a reroll.
I mean, I think that we can leave it as the vexiest way to do this. Exactly by 1.
Fair.
All right, yeah. So I.
Alright, you have 1 service to tell this bitch what to do.
You mean der Eisenkönig?
Yeah, Der Eisenkönig.
All right,
The Ice
so
King.
let me check my sheet. This is where it gets expensive.
You're not actually going with Terrence?
Yeah, this is not Terrence. I can't call him Terrence. There was only 1 net hit. I have a Force 11 Spirit of Man that's basically my Terrence.
Okay.
Free Agents Radical. I have 8 of those left. Okay. Fuck. Those are like what, 2,500 a pop?
They're expensive.
They
They're less
are
expensive.
expensive.
They're less expensive if you make them yourself, but still very expensive.
Yeah.
But
All right.
he probably does not appreciate being specifically called out. So,
Yeah.
at some level,
Yeah.
this is cheaper than other possibilities that may occur.
Yeah.
Like
So
a
here-
funeral casket. Those are expensive.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to do. I'm going to do 8. Let me just do some math here. No, that's the wrong thing. Okay, yeah, I can technically afford this. I'm going to. This hurts so much. After so many months of work, 8 radical reagents, 64 refined reagents, 512. Actually, no. I'll do it. No, rule of 7. 7 reagents of radical, 49 refined, and was it 343?
Sounds right.
Yes.
300, yeah, and 343 raw reagents. So basically, rule of 7, each type of reagent using an exponent. I'll lay them out in front of him. I imagine that since I know that I'm doing this, is it okay to like retcon that I'm paying this guy what seems fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Benny.
yes.
So depends. You can do the sevens thing, and that's cool. But I don't know how Shiki wants to do it. But because technically, like 10 equals the next highest up one.
Yeah. I'm doing rule of 7.
Okay.
Fuck the hermetics. If it wants more, then I can. Well, it actually would want less because it'd be 770. Well, it'd be more. It'd still be more. Yeah, that's right. 770 and 700. But again, fuck the hermetics.
Okay.
Unless, of course, it suddenly wants to be hermetic for some reason.
No,
he'll have this all laid out.
this is pleasing.
Yeah, and Vex will just say, in deference to the water spirit, hoping that somehow he hopes that it won't recognize him, and maybe his reputation has been smoothed out over the years. It was a misunderstanding in the first place. You understand? He didn't know that grenade was filled with acid. Well, he wasn't sure, and he wasn't gonna take the risk. So he'll pop up and he'll say, I apologize for interrupting you, kind spirit. Thank you for answering. Sorry about the mess, as he points to his own blood.
No matter what's the meaning of this.
Well, you see, the great people, well, not the great people to you, but the we people of Seattle, and the entire community, the magical community, including lesser spirits, you probably have already heard, have been suffering due to this, this contraption over here. It seems to be starting the initial points of a void, and I'm aware of how detrimental that is to the entire spirit community, and I assume that someone with your power would have more knowledge and influence as far as what to do next and what we're dealing with and how to take care of it. So as to keep things in balance in the astral world, as it would be a great detriment if a city full of so many forms that you can use to your own will, speaking as like the spirit using to its own will, were to suddenly disappear in this seaside town where water is so prevalent and is already battling so hard to stay pure.
Some of the things you say are correct, but this is not truly a place that I care too greatly about. Enough that I'd wish to help, but I want to make sure that ultimately you help yourselves.
Absolutely. So, after all, he who helps himself helps all. Am I right?
Yes. So perhaps I can offer you some assistance in determining that for yourself.
That seems fair.
And Benny, have you taken your medicine?
My medicine?
Yeah.
What is my medicine?
Your good spells.
Oh, yes. Are you talking about nausea? Well, which one do you want?
Analyze device.
Yes, I have that. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh my god, it's gonna get used for its reason. Holy shit.
24 extra dice on this, I'm guessing, is what's happening?
Faustian
Yep.
bargain.
All right.
Faustian
Yeah.
bargain.
Listen, it's Vex. Why would I not enter into a Faustian bargain with a being that I don't understand completely? So let's do this Faustian bargain. So guys, the smart move is to not pre-edge this. I'm glad everyone had the same Kamako reaction. So I'm doing this technically with one negative modifier, because I am at 5 instead of 9 now, because I remembered that I had 8 extra dice on my drink pool. So 23 drops to 22, plus more than double what I'm currently casting with, to bring it to 46 dice. And then if I throw exploding dice on top of this, it's going to be 40 exploding dice to cast a spell. All right. Like, I'm guessing, like, in the fluff of it, like, I'm just... that Spirit Summoner link is kicking in, and it's starting to go the other way. That is to say, the Spirit is almost controlling Vex, and Vex feels guided towards this thing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, Vex...
The spirit is basically prepping the mana for this assist on your detection spell.
Okay. All right. Oh God. I shouldn't pre-edge. Fuck it.
Which is exactly what you're going to.
Yeah. So, what do I feel like I need to do a certain force for this, or?
I mean, it's the resistance of this object is quite difficult.
Well, so just use reagents to limit it to something absurd.
I am gonna go ahead and.
He's pre-edging, so yeah.
Oh, he's pre-ed. Yeah, then force doesn't matter. Analyze device doesn't care about force at all, unless of course a sudden background count were to pop up in the process of the analysis.
So just cast it at like force 8.
Yeah.
That's like 5 drains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this. Okay, so this is the point where I pull back for a second, because this does change the nature of the run for everyone else. So I do want your honest opinion on the concept of pre-edging. I have reagents to do it another way if there's enough blowback that you guys want me to just reagent it to hell.
So I would honestly probably reagent this, given the size of the dice pool involved. But it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would actually make a huge difference either way.
It won't ruin the run by any means, but you know, it is it is the Vex thing to do to pre-edge.
I mean, I feel like that the Vex thing to do is to pre-edge. The I'm bleeding all over the floor Vex thing to do while there's a water spirit in the room that is a free spirit might be to be
still to pre-edge.
I'll show
right,
you the fucking boss.
I continue. I think you should play your character the way you think you would.
Okay.
You would
All
do
right.
it.
Well. All right. You know
Listen,
what?
Benny, if I have to cash in that $250,000 bounty, it's fine.
All right. So he's upset that it's only $250,000. I'm proud that it's that. All right. Apologies in advance for getting 23 hits. Damn it! Damn it!
Oh.
That was a shit roll.
That was in fact kind of hot garbo.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm just gonna link something.
I'm excited for this.
Oh!
That's just amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Once again.
The classic Vex.
Vex strikes again.
Strikers. Bye.
I should have known that you got 11 hits when I got 12. Something weird was up. It wasn't an absurd number, so I didn't just blow it out of the water. Must have been just by 1 then.
Okay, that's you solved this in the vexiest way possible.
I would like to point out that Vex's blood is currently all over the floor, which only adds to the vexiness.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question, which is, what are the CIA's guys' reactions at this point?
So basically,
This guy has blood.
He's a big fuck up scared.
I would like to point out that this has taken less than 3 seconds total. So what has happened from the CIA guy's perspective is just suddenly guy starts bleeding everywhere, then goes and sort of like goes closer to the thing, and then starts, like, moving his hands.
The conversation probably took longer than 3 seconds.
Yeah, there was the spreading out the reagents and all that stuff too. But yes, it was entertaining to say the least, and scary. Because they had a number of guards set aside, just in case you decided to do something crazy like take it and run, and if any of them are not completely off the rocker, they'll realize now that stopping you is not really an option. Assuming, of course, that this giant burst of mana that came in is on your side.
I just really like the idea, like at least in my own mental head, of what's going on. They have a list of, like, in case he does this, do X, Y, or Z. And, like, they're running through the list and, like, none of this is on the list. None of this is on the list. What is...
Yes.
It's Vex, baby. That's what that is. Yeah, so, alright. Yeah, Vex is gonna turn to the spirit in case it hasn't fucked off already, because that's technically the one service. I think it's beyond the one service. It's not even a bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Vex is just going to say, I think I have a picture, or at least a clue. I appreciate that. Yeah, now, obviously, I'm not going to ask you to help elucidate further, but if there's anything else I can do, obviously. And then you can feel, like, the voice of Soltero just shouting no for no real reason. I mean, you're dead.
You will just immediately receive as soon as you say that, and so like a quarter second later or whatever. As soon as Soltero, the Pytac, Soltero's like, "You stupid motherfucker!" Like screaming.
Solid.
I'm sorry. I honestly forgot that you could hear that.
So, when you touch it and analyze this device, you come to realize that's it's some sort of contraption very similar to it seems to be like part of a ritual very akin to one you may have heard of that it manipulates the mana in the area and pushes it out to other planes.
Oh wow! So it's like a weird, hyped up mana static, basically.
Not quite.
Okay.
It basically it slowly will create a mana void in the area, and shove that mana out into other planes to fill in or boost the mana in that plane.
Okay, so it's like an inverse geomancy.
Kinda.
Okay. Is someone else understanding it better than I am, and I'm just like missing the mark completely? I want to make sure.
I mean, I'm happy to tell you you're missing the mark completely, whether or not it's true.
Fair. I like that.
Solid.
So wait, we think it's related to a geomantic ritual of some kind?
Yes.
So
essentially, it slowly is creating a background void in the area.
Okay.
Which will pull out mana and also slow things down on sort of a more fundamental level, which will also create it a great deal of cold. Not quite enough to fully explain the excess cold of Seattle, but certainly a large contributing factor.
Okay, so and you said it was a ritual that Vex is sort of familiar with.
I mean, I'm not sure if he's personally familiar with, but being quite capable in rituals, it is related to some sort of ritual that may do something like this, but maybe a little bit more advanced.
White.
Yes.
If the GM is okay with it, White can make a memory check to learn something.
That's what I was thinking, in fact. Yeah.
And in one of the Siberia runs, basically.
Yep.
You've seen something like this.
Yep.
Additionally, like, do I have any knowledge of like how to handle this thing with that one hit, or where to go to figure out more on how to handle it?
Binary. You see that Soltero has muted himself, and if you like use your leader thing to go around, you just hear him screaming over and over again in Spanish, like and like punching the wall.
Is Baylife next to him?
Yeah, actually, you are Baylife. Like you just watch Soltero like put his fist through the wall, like both sides.
I have two questions. First of all, Baylife, do you have linguistics?
Yes.
Second, do you already know Spanish?
You should learn Spanish.
This
No,
might
no.
be a great opportunity.
Tasmanian,
To be fair, it'll be
Russian,
Spanish.
Japanese, Greek, English, ecclesiastical, Latin, classic
Benny.
Latin. Nope.
They're not fucking different.
Yeah,
How
so
dare you?
That's just the dialect.
in any event, so does White, despite his wishes, remember something about Siberia?
So
Don't actually.
Solid move, solid move.
so out of character, I'm not entirely sure what the Siberian link is.
It's the Wuching
yeah,
people
Wuching,
at their
like-
facility.
Yeah,
Okay.
taking energy out of ley lines, and at this point, White has learned a lot about.
Yeah, so
Lay.
out of character, it's essentially it's similar to the Mana Ebb ritual.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
It's basically just a slightly tweaked, more advanced version of it.
Yeah, and is this like? Do I recognize this as like the anchor for that ritual? And that's
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
If you had to guess, though, there's actually effectively two anchors.
Well, perhaps the more important question is, what would happen if you were to destroy this anchor?
Or I should rephrase that. There's at least one anchor.
Okay. What does he? Can either of us figure out or can my hilariously knowledgeable magic contact and high loyalty magic contact that I've brought in on the
yeah,
call?
but between yourselves, you can probably guess that if you destroy all the anchors, you would destroy the ritual.
I see,
Okay.
but just one probably wouldn't be enough.
Do I when I linked up to it? Did I get a flash of where hints where the other ones might be, or how many there might be?
No.
Could we use astral tracking to try to track back to the other anchors or something?
You could maybe do that.
Okay, so
And the as crap, there was a second question you asked just before that.
what happens if we destroy just this anchor?
It would probably reduce its effects, but not completely.
Okay, so astrally tracking through this thing might be worthwhile. But
What is it? Artificing plus intuition to.
so if it's an anchor, it's going to be a sensing plus intuition, just a regular sensing roll. But artificing plus magic would give you information about who made it if it was a focus, which it's not. Then again, this is a weird ritual. That's actually a good question, Mr. GM. Could I roll, say, artificing plus logic to see if I could maybe, leverage artificing to get to try to track or something with this?
Yeah, that actually seems quite reasonable.
On a similar note, would ritual spellcasting potentially reveal more information? You just
That also seems reasonable.
Okay. All right. I know that binary and or Soltero probably have some crazy cool knowledges that might work out here as well. And
So, funny fact about that: Soltero doesn't actually have that many knowledges that aren't languages.
It's okay. You have binary switch.
Yes.
My knowledge comes from my inherent knowledge of everything.
Which is still knowledge.
I like to imagine
Right,
that
like
Soltero and
random
Binary
bones?
just have casual discussions about the nature of everything,
Random crap.
and are correct despite having never learned about it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be weird if like this was exactly this way? Yeah, I think it is that way. They look it up. Well, fuck.
Yeah, you were right.
Well, Vex, you have a good idea of how you might track down some of the other pieces. It looks like there's with obviously mana in the immediate area is being pulled in, but there's still a sort of a faint sense of a link, and you kind of get the sense of four links, one much stronger than the others.
Okay.
Is this one the strong one?
This is not the strongest one.
Okay. And do I have a sense of distance? Like,
It's probably somewhere in Seattle.
okay. That's
All
what
of
I was
them?
looking for.
Or
Most likely
one of them?
Most likely all in Seattle.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So
one of
what
them is
I'm-
going to be. So you mean one of them is going to be very far away? You know, like the North Pole.
Yeah, that's quite
Yeah.
possible.
Maybe the strongest one is in the North Pole?
Maybe it's possible.
In any event,
Sorry.
yeah. So while this is all very interesting information that I think might be quite valuable to say the CIA or indeed to sell to the Draco Foundation, in the interest of the fact that our time is constrained, especially after Wednesday.
Yep. Good point.
Perhaps we could move on to like how the CIA then helps us with our current problem, and/or how this makes us money, and then deal with the fluff in some meta plot way later.
Yeah, it makes sense. But between the group of you, you will eventually realize that the strongest link is it seems to be in the direction of the largest Christmas tree in Seattle.
Yep, that's what I figured. Like I figured that, Joseph. As soon as you said it looks like a star,
Yeah.
I immediately thought, yeah, Viner's going to be right.
I made it up. I made it completely up.
Did you were you not just here for the conversation about how you and Soltero just be like, wouldn't it be interesting if things were this way? Oh, they're this way.
Damn it. I don't want to be right.
Then
I have a spell for that.
don't speculate. White turns to you and says, Binary, you should have learned by now not to speculate. With great power comes great responsibility.
All right. So yet again, the conspiracy theorists are correct with all their information.
Sons of bitches.
God damn it.
So, yeah, Vex will. Yeah, I tell you what. If you want, I can handle like the Vex conversation with the CIA in the sidebar while you move on to the other thing. That's okay.
Sure.
I don't want to slow stuff down yet. Okay, yeah.
All right. So Vex, eventually, a bit bloody, will eventually make his way back to the group. And what was the next group of people doing?
Was me looking into Mr. Tim, and I think Nagaro following.
Yeah. So by Mr. Tim, you mean Timothy Reynolds or Jerry
so,
Fletcher?
Yeah. I believe so. Yes.
Okay. I mean, essentially, because as you noted, you have like his comlink and most of that stuff you can trivially spread around and get other information. He seems to he's on the surface he seems to be a bit of a nut, but the people that he's regularly in contact with are sometimes actually quite powerful, or maybe not obviously so, but ultimately are quite influential in various ways, and some of those people have reputations for being either in charge of incredibly powerful groups and or just themselves are incredibly dangerous on a physical or magical level.
Well, shit.
Or perhaps a more succinct way to put it is, if someone were to, accidentally know about a number of incredibly dangerous creatures, such as a dragon, he would.
So I'm sorry, I missed a little of that. I wasn't paying quite as much attention as I should have. Our understanding is that Tim Reynolds is probably incredibly dangerous because he knows all of this dangerous things.
Yeah, although whether he knows it's actually, whether he's actually like a genius or just accidentally stumbling into it is a bit up in the air.
Okay. And Binary's plan was to try to like get access to the server, and that is what happened, or?
Yeah, you guys came up with some sort of conspiracy or whatever to defeat him, and you got information about Jerry Fletcher, and you can get information, directly on the server, which basically shows that they've run into a number of people that they allegedly think are incredibly dangerous magical beings. For example, a dragon or two.
Does the server say like how they got this information, or is the info just on it?
It's basically people who want to join their forums have to submit, a conspiracy of some sort, and then they sort of debate whether there's any grounds to it, and if they deem it worthy, they add it to their stockpile and invite that person to, once to take a look at other things in their reserve.
Are they all new people, or are there like do a bunch of them come from like one source?
Most of them are new. A couple of them are maybe from regular sources, but they kind of don't really share that information once it's approved.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, you got to have the whole account made 6 years ago, one post, slightly less than 6 years ago. Never heard from him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Binary has literally had that happen to him at least 4 times on my runs alone.
Happens way more than you'd think, apparently.
But so if you dig around just to get some specifics, you get information on Kesselith. You also get information on quite a few other people that are either powerful mages or dragons or other worldly creatures or free spirits or other crazy things like that.
So here's a question.
Okay.
Are any of us in here?
Well, that's a good question.
Or are any people we know?
Does anyone have PA of 4 or higher?
Hi.
Bailiff has 4 notoriety, but not public awareness.
I only have 1 PA.
Okay.
Soltero has 0 public awareness and 0 notoriety.
I've said
Oh,
it
wait.
PA for the longest.
Oh God. Wait, this can't be right. This can't be right. I should have at least 4. Why do I have 3? No.
Well, we'll just assume that that's 4, and give me an edge check.
All right. Fuck. All right. Yeah. Someone else roll 4d6 for me, please, because
Sure.
it's my computer reset itself. I apologize.
2 hits.
So you don't have a separate entry talking about you, but there is sort of
If there isn't a separate entry talking about him, then what the fuck is the point?
I know, right? You got to fix that. But
Yeah, Bonner, could you fix that already?
So I have another
but,
question.
It does come up when there's discussion of a few other people, and there's some rumors about some islands little bit off the coast of Australia.
Yes. So Shiki, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is Shiki in this database?
Of course not.
Damn it.
3 PA, boys. It's the threshold. Anything more, they know about you.
All right.
Yes. Speaking of, there's these allegations of of a powerful mage and a couple of his friends that used to have a nice thing going together.
these allegations that friendship is in any way beneficial.
Yeah, they're clearly bullshit. But,
No secret relationship.
but some people think that maybe for some reason, the creatures of this island have occasionally come back into contact with this friend of theirs and are maybe planning something. But that sounds crazy.
And binary, I forgive you.
We don't want you losing a point of magic, man.
And of course, these names of these things are like names like Rithin the Voiceless and stuff like that.
Yes. Absurd names that no one has ever met. Okay, so...
I must say, though, Jose, I'm upset. I am honestly slightly offended that no one has put around conspiracy theory stories about, the legend of all hackers,
Oh, actually, that's a good point. He has online fame, Shiki.
I was more pointing out the fact that as a man with rating 13, anyone with the skill has heard stories, apparently.
I mean, those aren't conspiracy theories. Those are just on the public host. That's the obvious stuff everyone knows.
Okay, I see how it is.
That crazy impossible to beat Decker and his Technomancer revolver.
I mean, I feel like the conspiracy theory is that he's actually a Technomancer. No, okay, we're getting off track. Okay, so we didn't really find much in Reynolds except like sort of. Was there anything actionable like about, in particular, about Kesselith's capabilities? I would be really interested in that.
Well, he has supposedly he has full access to the Dark Moon Blades, which are a group of a mix mundanes and adepts.
Okay.
They have they prefer a lot of long range options.
Interesting.
Not necessarily for the combat efficacy, but because occasionally Kesselith likes to show up. Well, he pretty much always likes to show up himself in some way, and he has a bit of he likes theatrics.
I see.
And,
so he
and
does.
so,
That's actually really useful. Likes theatrics. Actually, that's okay. Likes
All right.
theatrics.
No. This is actually like probably the most critical piece of information we've got the whole time.
Yeah, that's kind of huge. That's kind of huge.
So like, if he actually has a penchant for the theatrical to the point where it affects the operations, Soltero can tell you exactly where the hit will come from.
Oh, beautiful.
Because like,
Wait.
that's just a thing. If you're an assassin, you know exactly what would be the most theatrical hit. And if he's stepping on them that much, I can tell you exactly where and when within a certain window.
Well, you can tell us what the most theatrical ones were. There might be more than. But yes, no, that is indeed. You make an excellent point.
I can't exactly prove it, and he may not be stepping on them that hard, but
that's a good point. That like just knowing that, like, that's his weakness. His weakness is pride, and a specific kind of pride.
Pride never hurts. Pride never helps. It only hurts.
Yeah, we can definitely leverage that. Okay, that was really valuable. Okay, and then I believe, unless there's more to be found in the conspiracy theory database, I believe it's time for Garo to tail a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not really a kid. He's like his late 20s, they said.
Yeah.
Baylife is younger than that?
Soltero is older.
Yep, so is White.
Alright. So
What is
you're
Vex?
just gonna follow him around, going to a handful of clubs, just keeping your distance and whatnot?
I don't think I need to keep too much of a distance with all the spells and the traceless walk and invisibilities.
Oh yeah, traceless walk, nice.
Yeah, he's incredibly hard to spot.
Okay. Well, in that case, just give me a stealth roll, just to see. Let's get you a big summary one.
Oh, and Garo, go ahead and take extra agility as well.
All right. I assume up to my augmented maximum.
Yep.
That is not correct.
I wish.
That said, it is a lot of hits, though.
Yes. Quite a lot, actually. That's like...
9.
Yeah.
Nine
Yeah,
hits,
that's probably going to be enough.
Yeah, well, it was going to be if it was at least 5. I wasn't going to have you bother doing an oppose roll. So, yeah, so you can tell him for a little while, and you see me going around. Nothing too fishy until, there's a... you notice that he gets a lot of free drinks. And, he just sort of, doesn't really question it and drinks them without a second thought.
Incredibly bad.
That's...
Yeah.
All right.
But in a way, sort of beneficial. In a bad way. We know that that's the most likely hit angle.
Yes.
So he has his guards around him, right? Assuming he has a guard detail.
He
Probably a
technically
bodyguard.
has a guard detail, but he very often tells them to go fuck off.
All right. So we may have another item for you to discuss with the CEOs. Altero.
Why would you think that?
I just, it's a hunch. I get them sometimes. Usually when Baylife says something and they're the opposite of that.
All right, and so with that, are we going over to the CEO meeting tomorrow morning?
Is it actually tomorrow morning?
I mean, did you want to do it at some later time?
I thought it was like that afternoon.
That's what I was under the impression of as well.
That's quite possible. It was late last night, and as I noted, my recording was not working for proper review. So yeah, we'll assume it was for this afternoon. So this would have occurred just a little bit before Garo's, well, in the middle of Garo's investigation, probably.
Okay, sure.
And yeah, Soltero, you'll have, I'm going to say...
Definitely charisma.
Definitely charisma, and I'm actually thinking combat sense. Just in case. Well, just in case. I can't think of any other buffs to put on you.
I could use willpower.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. You can have that. And actually, are there... Well, you could also, if you'd like, personal warmth.
You don't need to mask personal warmth.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
For Professor Johannes Plum to have it.
That's a good point.
All right, so how exactly do you go about this this conversation?
Soltero,
What?
can you brief me? Give me like a little pep
I'd
talk.
like you to not say anything, ideally.
I can do that. Should I look in a certain manner? Should I?
I'd like you to stand approximately 2 paces behind me and to my left.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever are more than a meter away from that point, and we are not sitting in chairs, you have failed.
Okay. Will do, he says, slightly scared after that outburst yesterday.
Minor detail.
Oof.
Funny.
Yeah. So, if you guys are at the hotel, basically, like, I'm assuming White and Binary are also somewhat at the hotel, you'll notice once you get back to the room, there are hastily repaired holes in the wall.
So actually, white would probably be kind of close to where you are in order to keep you both in mine net range.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
binary, you'll notice that.
What?
Probably
Back to the
binary
wall.
effects.
All right. So binary is down in Renton while you guys are up in Snohomish.
Yep.
What is noise? I don't know.
Oh, Benny and I calculated it, and you only need 2.4 kilometers from the like theoretical point in middle point in downtown cover like through most of Everett and all the way down to like where we were in Renton.
No, it was downtown to Everton was actually 2.4 miles. I fucked that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way,
I thought it was. Yeah.
you actually could be like a decent ways away.
All right. So, anyways, the conversation with the CEO.
So I'm assuming I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna have a briefcase.
course.
Bay life, you will be dressed in a suit with an obvious earpiece.
Good. And
You have sunglasses.
yes.
Excellent. All
And
right.
I will
So
feed you information as I see fit, because I am rather useful at this. He says after he had spent the last day being the main information giver to the team, having gained some confidence there.
There we go. There we go.
we'll see, and we'll walk in
Okay.
to the building. Here to meet with Mr. Renault.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
I'm
he's
assuming that's it,
waiting
yeah.
for you. His last meeting was cancelled. Go right in.
Oh, thank you very much. And I will again tip the secretary a lifestyle tip.
It's awkward, but she accepts it.
And
I don't
please,
care how awkward it is.
it's Renault. He's American.
It's not Renault.
Yeah, and Soltero will walk in, and good afternoon, Mr. Renault.
Oh yes, Professor. What was it again?
Professor Plum, but please call me Johannes.
Ah yes, yes. Sit down. Let's get right to this. I have a meeting in 15 and need to wrap this up a bit quickly.
So the very short and dirty, straight to the point is that your security is woefully inadequate, and here's why. And he pulls out like 3 arrows.
At least one of them is, Kessleth is at least one of the people trying to kill you. Here are all of the other people he has killed. Here are how he has killed him. He's probably a dragon.
Yeah, and Soltero will basically like pull out all these arrows and like just walk through the information as rapidly, but as clearly as possible. I'm just attempting to just drop facts on him. And then finally it's like what we should do about this.
That's rather interesting information you have there. May I ask how you came about it?
Observation, as well as some associates of mine that are skilled in mystical and matrix abilities.
You might want to mention that we were hired to protect him, and
Well, I'm actually pretending to be someone not hired to protect him.
Oh, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough, fair enough.
Well, actually, no, I can still do that, Jay. I would be like, I was tipped off by a couple of individuals, and I'll sort of like describe binary and white well enough that
Okay.
he will know, but not the casual observer.
Yeah.
Solid.
Because the key is that you want to make sure that you're not quite breaking the
Sure.
rule of
Don't
getting
go into the
too
corp.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they only trust you slightly.
Sure.
But yeah, okay. So that's a little bit worrying. Unfortunately, as you may be aware of, supplementing my existing security has been difficult in the last few weeks, and I'm not quite sure
Indeed,
what
the
the
biting
solution would
cold.
be.
The biting cold has slowed everything down. If I may, sir, I have one. And Soltero will wirelessly like deny their life, pull off the cloak.
Yes, I shall.
You are known to get your own items and such, but I encourage you, at least for the time being, to allow one of my agents to do so in your stead. This would indeed increase your security by approximately a factor of 12.
He's going to be quite startled. Ah, huh. That's a very convincing getup you have there.
Indeed, your corporate press photos were quite helpful and for my artisans to put this together.
And how long did you intend to do this for?
Up to you ultimately, of course, but I would recommend a period of no less than 2 weeks.
I see. Well, I'm not incredibly comfortable with it, but I do believe that sometimes these things are required, and I think that 2 weeks, particularly during business is a bit slow. We are and even research is as effectively in a pause, as it were. I think that taking 2 weeks with a minimal presence, or at least actual presence, is something that can be done.
Very gracious of you. Thank you. I would hate to see a businessman of your stature lost to our city, especially when we have such great potential. Especially if the CEO, Mr. Charles, is elected to the governorship.
Of course. and as he says, of course, just sort of without thinking, he then has a moment of wonder of what exactly did he just say yes to.
So I trust I can count on your support come election time.
No. Soltero.
Don't actually say that. No, not yet.
Okay.
Not until we save his life.
Of course.
Several times, and the lives of his children and wife.
Yes, and then he'll basically go over any other security details that we have uncovered,
Okay.
and recommend several, other like sort of common sense precautions.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the major point is just stop fucking giving them so many angles, you piece of shit. But said far more nicely.
Yeah, of course. As he can he can meet your demands with himself, and he can effectively if it's just for a period of 2 weeks, he can probably convince his wife to cancel a number of her social affairs in return for some rather nice things to make up for it afterwards.
It is indeed the holiday season, as it were. Perhaps you're all spending Christmas close to home.
Yes, perhaps. But my children are a bit more independent, unfortunately.
Willful, you might say?
Yeah,
Yes.
about one of those. May want to tell him to keep his security detail and to stop getting drinks from people he doesn't know.
Oh my god.
Yep, I will basically pass along that information as well.
So
Like
he
one
will-
of our other associates has indeed and basically like we'll give him the short version of like hey, he's gonna fucking die.
Yeah. Well, he's he doesn't quite do a face palm, but he's clearly disappointed, just not surprised. And say honestly not entirely sure how to handle that. At this point, it's close to just forcing him under lock and key, but can't
If
quite.
I may offer something, sir?
Sure.
Perhaps you merely allow outside forces to take off the gloves, as it were, in regards to his security, as he is, if I'm understanding the situation correctly, a little bit less public than the other important members of the family.